I don't know. I don't know. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, today's video is going to be a Q&A. I'm just going to be doing my makeup while I answer a couple of questions. If you missed it, I did make a community post on YouTube asking if you had any questions to drop a comment. If you wanted it to be a more personal question, you can message me on Instagram. I also posted it in my stories, so I put it everywhere. So I did get a lot of questions. I went ahead and I separated everything into 3 categories, which is personal, like questions pertaining to me, dating questions, and then finance. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lead with the personal questions. Okay, so I'm just doing a quick makeup look, guys, because I have to film some other videos. So child, these passion twists, they've been fun, but it's time. I've given her all she's got. Okay, it's time. So I'm gonna prime my face. I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty Soft Matte because literally I bought a brand new bottle of it and just stopped using it. So don't know what that is. It a brand new bottle? We stock up on Fenty, so I do have a mini of the same soft matte that I bought for travel purposes. So for questions that I got multiple of, where it was kind of like the same question but just worded different, I kind of lumped them together. So y'all didn't waste no time. The first one we have is, do you want children? I get asked this question a lot, and it is a complicated answer. So I don't have any children, and that's not something that just happened. It was actively a choice. I have chosen all these years not to have a child. And my reasoning early on in life was because I was in school. I went to school for a very long time. I have 2 bachelor's degrees. I was gonna go into law school. I had a lot going on. Once I decided that I was not gonna go to law school, I thought about doing a master's. Then I was like, nah, don't really wanna do that. And I entered into the corporate world where I have been constantly just, you know, kind of going up the ladder, so to speak. So my main focus was my career. Whether or not if I wanted children, the main factor for me was I wanted it to be with ideally a husband, and also ideally I wanted it to be with someone who I knew was responsible. Like, it had nothing to do with anything else. The feelings needed to be there because a child needs to witness a loving relationship if you're going to be in one. And the person had to be up to my level of responsibilities and what I deemed as a good father. And I have dated men who were good fathers, so that's not even it. It was just the issue of they're a good father, but I'm in a place right now where I don't want kids. And we're not married because my goal was never to have a child out of wedlock. There's nothing wrong with that, but I wasn't striving for that, if that makes sense. And I know to a lot of people it does, because I've had this conversation with many women before. Like, it's your goal, my goal, you know, as a Christian woman, was to try my best not to have a child out of wedlock. If it happens, it happens. You know, God is a forgiving God. He understands. But I wasn't setting out to have a child out of wedlock. I just wasn't. I didn't want to have to deal with the co-parenting issue because, let's be honest, things have changed. Back in the day, like our parents or our parents' parents, they could actually have a child with someone, right? And that relationship could not work. And they used to co-parent very well. If they did have drama or if they had issues, the children were not aware of it. They just weren't. Like, I could tell you right now, my mom and my dad are not together. I can't name a time that my mom and my dad argued in front of me, had a disagreement in front of me. There was no jealousy. My dad's remarried. My mom likes my stepmom. My stepmom likes my mom. They ask about each other. How's your stepmom? How's your mom? There's no animosity there. If there ever was, I have no clue. Okay? And that's how it's supposed to be. So I feel like this generation is not like that. I feel like this generation, it's not that simple. And a lot of it has to do with who you pick. I know that. And sometimes people can only show you one side. So long story short, I went back and forth about having a child majority of my adult life. And I have finally come to the decision that I'm in a place now where, yes, I would have to make significant changes, i.e. career choices, where I'm living, things of that nature. But if it were to happen, it would happen. I would be happy. If I do not have a child, I would be okay with that. I wouldn't be depressed or sad. I would feel some type of way, like, oh man, that was a missed opportunity, something I would have liked to experience, but I'm okay. I literally said to myself, it's in God's hands. If I'm meant, it will happen, but I'm not really pushing it. It's not on the forefront. It's not like I'm looking at a clock on the wall and I'm like, okay, Amber, if I'm just being honest, okay? So that was like a long way around that. Next question for dating. Oh no, sorry, for personal is, would you move out of California? Ooh, man. I always say no. I always say no, that I would not move out of California. But it would have to be some pretty good circumstances. And I think, me personally, I would still always opt to own a home here. So there's that. So yeah, if I moved out of California, it would have to be like a temporary thing, like my boyfriend got an amazing job or opportunity, and I would consider it. It just really would just depend on the reason. But no, I have no plans of ever living in California, let's be honest. It's just something I don't see myself doing. Okay, this next one is funny, but I'm going to address it because I actually get it a lot. It's from my best friend, and it's, why don't you answer your phone? Guys, I have gotten this question my entire life, and no one likes my response. Okay, so in the beginning, I was in school. We couldn't have a cell phone. Times changed when I was in high school. In high school, if your cell phone rang in class, it was a huge, big deal. You weren't even supposed to have them at school. I literally had to get my mom to write a note saying that because she worked and was not the person picking me up from school, that I needed to have a cell phone. That's the only reason why I was able to ever have one in school. So I always had my phone on silent. Always had my phone on silent, okay? Then I moved into a company that had a very strict cell phone rule also. And you could literally be terminated if you had your phone out, if you answered your phone, if they walked up and you were text messaging. It was a huge deal. Anywho, I say all that to say, I always had my phone on silent. For years of the cell phone being so taboo, I always had my phone on silent. So what ends up happening is, now I'm just so much more comfortable with my phone being on silent. If I have my ringer on, it immediately starts to annoy me. I don't know. And because I leave it on silent and I get to moving, I look down and I always have a missed call. So there's not a person in my life, I promise you. And if anybody who knows me personally or has my cell phone, there's not a person in my life that will not say that they have called me and I have not answered. Everyone says it. And everyone gets really frustrated at it. And it's like, it's been my thing for years. And people always say things like, I would never make you my emergency contact because you never answer your phone. And it's like, I do. And then now that there's Bailey, it's like every time I just for 2 seconds turn my ringer on, it's always like Bailey has just fallen asleep. That's my niece. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it'll, you know, I don't know. It's like, I'm trying, y'all. But I literally, my New Year's resolution is to make sure that I am more available and that I answer my phone. I'm gonna have to play with the settings. I know there's a way to just have it where it'll at least buzz or something, but child, my name is getting dragged in the streets, okay? My boyfriend flat out told me that, my boyfriend actually went into the hospital for something and called me to tell me that he was going to the hospital because he didn't feel good, and I missed the call. And he said, when they asked me my emergency contact, he was like, I put my sister. He said, and it broke my heart because it should have been you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've just been removed. So yes, guys, your girl, I'm not that good at answering my phone. I really am not. There you have it. But I still love all y'all. And I got this one question in different formats. It's, would I ever do makeup for someone? Would I ever style for a living? And the answer is yes. I love all things beauty, so I would 100% do someone's makeup. Like if a friend of mine was going somewhere. Well, I have done that before. My friend, we were going to do it, I think we ended up not doing it, but my friend had a photo shoot. Did I end up doing her makeup? I don't know. I don't know if I ended up doing her makeup or if we did something else. But yeah, 100% I would do somebody else's makeup. I would do somebody else's hair. I have done other people's hair. I do actually know how to braid, but I hate to braid. I've done sew and weaves for people. Would I actually style people? I've done that before. I've gone to the store with friends of mine and helped them get a new look. So yes, very, very, very much interested in the aspect of styling people and doing their makeup. And I don't bake anymore. I don't know if I showcase that. I just put a light amount of powder under my eye to set the concealer. That's it, child. Okay, why don't you show your boyfriend was a question. Another one was, will we ever see him? The answer is simple. My boyfriend is not a public figure. You guys have seen my sister on my channel because my sister is a public figure. She is an author. She has a reading group. If you ever read her, she has a bomb reading group on Facebook, Siobhan Latree's reading group. I will link it below. You got to answer a couple of questions and then boom, she'll let you in. And you could be a part of all the pure laughter and fuckery that goes on in there. And so my sister's a public figure, so her being on my channel, that's not a big deal. That's a lifestyle that she's chosen. She is a public figure. My boyfriend is just a businessman. He's just a businessman. And not like that, but I'm saying like he hasn't made the conscious decision to be on the internet in front of everybody. So for that reason, I don't show him. You notice that I don't show my mom that much. I may show her arm and the camera may swing past her really quickly on a vlog or something, or you may hear me having a conversation with her and not showing her. That's because authentically she is in my life and I do spend a lot of time with her. So you will, you know, occasionally see those things, but I don't make a point to show her. Now, she said, hey, I want to be on one of your vegan snack videos. They look interesting. Of course, I would do it because at that point, she has said that she wanted to be on it. You know, I've gone out with like my friends. My best friend Lauren, you guys have seen her on the channel. I always ask her like, hey, do you want to be in the vlog? If she says, yeah, that's cool, then I will do limited clips, but I don't just like point and shoot the camera at someone who is not interested in being a YouTuber, or, you know. My boyfriend doesn't even have a Facebook, doesn't even have an Instagram. Would you guys ever see him on the channel again if he said something like, hey, I want to judge your outfits, or I want to react to this, and he wanted to be in the video? I have no qualms with him being in it, but at the end of the day, This is Malabustacie. So you guys, I hope, come to see me and come to see what I'm doing. And there would be no need for me to make an extra point to try to include him. It's not like it's a couples channel or anything like that. But if I'm vlogging and he walks by and I'm saying something important that I'm not going to edit out, buddy, you're in the clip. But if he walks by and I'm not doing anything, I'm going to edit him out the same way I do everybody else. So that is the stem on that. I'm not hiding him. He's not married. He's not, you know, hiding from the FBI, nothing like that. He has no issues with my YouTube. He's very supportive of my YouTube. He has bought equipment for my YouTube. My most expensive equipment, I would like to say, that my boyfriend has actually purchased for me for YouTube. So it's not a secret. He knows I have the channel. He's very proud of the channel and its progress. It's my channel, so I don't force anything like that down on him. And he is a whole grown man, so doing challenges and pranks and all that is not gonna happen because he is a whole ass grown man. Okay, I thought this question was interesting. It said, how would your friends describe you off screen? I personally think I'm exactly the same. The same conversations I have with you guys, I have with my friends. I don't know if you ever see them down in the comments. They'll say things like, oh, you always say that, or oh my gosh, you're so silly. I'm the same person. The only thing that I would say is a little bit more different is I'm probably 10 times more vulgar. I'm more so abrasive, and I'm a straight shooter. I shoot from the hip, okay? There is no sugar coating, baby, okay? And all of my friends will attest to that. Outside of that, I am a very supportive friend. I support all of my friends and all of their endeavors, and yeah, I think that's what they would say. I think they would say I'm pretty much the same person, just a little bit more filtered because YouTube will shut it down and cut the ads out. But yeah, that's the only thing. See that? Okay, guys, let me just say this right now. If you watch the vlog channel, you know, bathroom flooded, getting it redone, it has been completed. There's no one warned me that there would literally be dust everywhere. Every time I dust, I look somewhere else and I see covered in dust. This was just covered in like millworking and wall cutting and everything else. And there's no way this would be actually dusty considering I just bought it. So, child, I can't wait to fully and completely be done, like with the cleaning part and everything. So I think I want to do an orange look. I may do yellow, actually. I want to see how this yellow, it's like a mustard yellow. I want to see how it comes out on my skin. I think I'm going to help it out a little bit, to be honest with you. I'm working in a really small space. My normal setup is just not available at the current moment. But I think I'm going to help it out a little bit and use an eye primer base. A white one, a nice white one. Okay, so the next question is about, the next section rather, is dating. And the first question was, rate your dating horror stories, craziest to the like least craziest. So first one, the craziest one, I think, is dating horror story, He Had a Secret Life. Dating horror story, Blind Date from Hell. It's actually my first YouTube video. That was pretty crazy. Third would be dating horror story, It's a No for Me, Dog. For context, Secret Life, you guys know. Blind Date, that was my first video. It's a No for Me, Dog would be the Track Hawk. I'll just say that for those who've seen it. Dating horror story with receipts is the the one with the Facebook post and the text messages. Then number 5 would be Buffalo Wild Wings, the one dating horror story, Why I Can't Eat at Buffalo Wild Wings. 6 would be one of my newer ones, which is the Side Chick Chronicles. Then next would be Dating Horror Story, Maybe He Was a Murderer. 8, Dating Horror Story, Never Trust a Big Butt and a Smile. Then one of my newer ones, Dating Horror Story, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then the one that's least crazy is Dating Horror Story, He Won't Stop Popping Up, because I feel like everybody has dealt with that. Mine was just a tinge more weirder, and still ongoing, by the way. Okay, and then the next one was, do I have any advice on dating? And yes, I think the most important thing to remember about dating, and it's a good one, is when you look, you will not find. If you are dating for the purpose of finding a husband, finding a boyfriend, you're not going to find what you're looking for, because you're too focused on it. Your brain is too focused on achieving that. But if you focus on other things, i.e. your career, your YouTube channel, your home decor, anything, the minute you shift your focus onto something different, that is typically when things are going to start moving for you in a better direction. Now, please know, I'm not telling you to date without intention. 100% date with intention, but date more so for fun. Like, don't be like, man, if this date don't work, if this dude don't be my boyfriend, like, I'm over it. Like, no. Date with the intent of just enjoying yourself, meeting new people, going to new restaurants, and approach dating that way. I get to go meet a new person. I get to go have a conversation with another adult and get their opinion on this. I get to, this guy is really into boats. He said that he's going to take me on a yacht. Whatever the case may be. Approach dating that way. Another dating tip or advice I would give you is to not only rely on traditional methods. I think that some people still think that there is a issue with online dating, and there is not. There's not an issue with online dating. I myself met my boyfriend on, of all platforms, Plenty of Fish, okay? The one that has the most F-boys on the planet. So, you sometimes have to think outside the box. You have to look at other ways of approaching things, other ways of handling it, so to speak. So yeah, definitely look into less traditional things. If I were still single, I would be on dating apps. I would also be going out more. Like you have to see, people think that you're just gonna meet a man randomly at the grocery store. You're just gonna meet a man randomly. No, that's not how it works. You have to actually be actively going out. You need to be going to events. You need to be going to kickbacks. You need to be going to parties. You need to be going to barbecues. You need to be out. You need to be out and about, and also utilizing apps. You also need to be present on your social media. Do you know how many people are in relationships now because somebody slid in their DM? So yeah, you've been over here not posting on Instagram, not posting on all of your stuff, and just being a creeper and looking at everybody else. I'm sorry, that's what it is when you're not active. Being a creeper. Yeah, then it's gonna happen that you don't meet anyone. So that's kind of my dating advice, is stop thinking that you have to do it the traditional way. Stop thinking that it has to be, boy walks in, opens the door, sees you. No, yeah, that can still happen, but it's very important that you also seek the less traditional routes. This orange to me is coming out looking real pink, so I think I'm gonna switch it up and go to this other orange. Yeah, that's what we needed. I know I look crazy, y'all. Trust the process. I do have a dating advice video. I will link it down below. It has like all the dating tips, like everything that I think, and it's pretty relevant to what's still going on. Okay, and then last in the dating portion is, would I stay with a partner that was great at everything else other than the bedroom? Y'all, I had to sit and think about that for a second, and my answer is yes. I would, only because as I have gotten older, I have realized that there's so many things that comes with a relationship and comes with being with someone. You want a partner who is supportive, who is there for you, who can help lift the burden of life, finances, everything. You want that. And if you have someone that is supportive, then they're checking off all those boxes. They're there for you emotionally. They're there for you, you know, you feel supported. You feel that they can take care of you financially, which is a really big thing with women. They listen to you. The communication is good. I could see me being like, I would much rather have this than some dude who was just an Adonis in the bedroom but was trifling. Like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and say I want to go ahead and take my chances and just deal with the issue of him just not being amazing in bed. I've had my share of men who did not have good communication or were trifling, or y'all see the dating horror stories. So I would not accept any of those behaviors over one that is something repairable or teachable, or child, you better buy you a rose. Shoot, from what I hear on TikTok, it can't be beat anyway, so do what you gotta do, child, but don't let a good one go. That's all I'm saying. Alright guys, so that's the look I'm going for. These two oranges in this palette are cool, but I like the orange in Juvia's Place Sahara palette way better. It's more like a, this is more like a, this one is called Juice, I don't know, whatever. This one is like a deep tangerine, almost pinkish, and then the other one is like a dusty orange. So I use them both to kind of create this, like, you know, mustard yellow into orange look. But yeah, the orange is okay. The orange is just okay. I have better oranges in other palettes. I have actually eyeshadows that work a little bit better than Morphe. As far as like blending and pigmentation, Juvia's Place knocks this out of the box in regards to pigmentation. But yeah, I still like this palette. Still happy I got it, and definitely needed all types of colors and stuff. So I am going to put on my lashes, and then I will come back and I will answer the other question. All right guys, that was extremely difficult because if you don't know, I lost my luggage, and all of my like utensils and stuff to put my lashes on were there, including my lash glue. So I had to work with this little thing here, and yeah, so, and apply them by hand with no tweezers, which is fine. That wasn't even the hard part, but so I'm just going in with some of my Fenty Beauty Mimosa Sunrise blush, and it's also a highlight, but we're gonna just be using it as a blush, maybe a little nose. Okay, so last of the questions, advice on buying a home. You guys comment down below and tell me how you, if you guys actually are interested in a whole video in regards to that. I do have a lot of information that I think will be beneficial, only because home buying seems so like out of the realm for most people when actually it's not. Not only is it not out of the realm of possibilities, but also there is a lot of programs out there that will help and assist first-time buyers. So basically, my advice would be just within your state to go and research and see what programs are in your state that would assist you with down payment or closing costs. Another thing is, don't be scared to get an FHA loan. For those who don't know, FHA loan is a government loan. It allows you to put a less amount of money down. The catch is the home has to have certain improvements. Like, it can't be a tear down. It has to be a livable current like home or whatever. But I feel like all the stipulations that the FHA has for those homes are things that you would want anyways, like smoke detectors, and it can't be like horrible condition. To me, it's not that big of a deal, but it is a great option. It's a great option for you. The other advice that I would give you is make a list. You know, write down and be consistent on what you are not willing to deal with. Are you willing to have more bedrooms in a smaller footprint? Are you willing to have, I don't know, are you willing to have a den instead of a fourth bedroom? Are you willing to have a non-updated kitchen so that the cost of the house is lower? You know, different things. You just need to make a list realistically of pros and cons, as well as the bare minimum of what you are willing to accept for the house. And just keep in mind that that is going to change. You are going to run into some things and you're gonna have to make some decisions. So my thing is, within that list, also consider, what are you actually getting the house for? Is this just because you have 4 kids and you guys need a place to stay and you want them to be in a good school district? But you may have to sacrifice bedrooms to get them in the school district you're in. If you're saying, hey, you know, this is a secondary home, I want everything that I didn't get in my first home, you go boy, you go girl, you do that. But you make sure that you have your goal set on what it is. Are you looking for something that when you flip it in 3 years, you're gonna get double the money back? Then you're gonna care more about the area, and you're gonna care more about putting money into the condition of the home than anything. You know, consider whether a condo is gonna work for you, or if you need to get a townhouse, or if you need to get just a, I forget what they call it. Why can I not think of what they call a standard home? Just a brick and mortar house. Okay, that's what we're gonna say. You guys know what I mean. Another question was, how do I save money? Guys, I have never been an amazing person at saving money. I'm gonna be honest with you. The main way that I save money is that I live well below my means. So if let's say, I'm just gonna throw out a number. Let's say a person makes $6,000 a month, right? If I were that person bringing in $6,000 a month, I would not want my mortgage to be more than like $2,000, right? So my mortgage is $2,000. That leaves me $4,000 more to spare. I'm a person who likes to have a newer car, so I have my car note, right? I have my everyday expenses, but ultimately I prefer to be able to pay the majority of my bills out of one check. If I can do that, then that means if anything were to come up, I still have a whole nother check that I can play with. That doesn't happen every month. Things pop up. Case in point, my flooded bathroom. But I say that to say that the lesser you live below your means, the more likely you are to be able to just pay for something in a hunk. I sign up with my bank so that a portion every month goes directly to my savings. I don't even see it. I have that set up with another bank account too, and I split my direct deposit so that it actually goes into multiple accounts, including a savings account. So yeah, that's what I do. And I'm more of a person who saves for a thing. Like, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z on this date, so I'm saving for that. I do that also. So that's easier for me. And Also, give your money to someone who you trust. My mom, my sister, my boyfriend, even my best friend. Those are all people who I know that I could give my money to hold if I feel like I'm going to spend it, and they would keep it for me and then give it to me when I need it. But they also are strong-willed enough to be like, girl, you don't need this money. You don't need that. So that's another option, giving your money to someone. And just knowing that your savings, you should always reimburse yourself. So if I take $4,000 out of my savings to fix my bathroom, I'm gonna have to pay myself every month back what I took out and make sacrifices. Like maybe I'm not gonna DoorDash anymore for the next year, or maybe I'm not, you know, whatever decision I make as far as to pay that lump sum that I took out back. Okay, and then the last question is, would you ever do what I spent in a week video? I would, if I thought that was something that you guys were interested in, a video on what I spend in a week. It does vary. I would kind of be interested to see where my money goes. I used to have this app called Mint. I'm sure we've all heard of it or we've seen a commercial for it, and it was really good about telling me where I spent my money and giving me like a little pie chart and splitting everything off. The downside to Mint is I'm a person who loses my ATM card a lot. So I lost my ATM card and they were no longer able to give me the updates, and I kept forgetting to go back into the app and add the new debit card so that it could keep track of that for me. But yeah, I believe I still have the app on my phone. Let me see. Not me putting Mont. Girl, Amber, what? Mint. I do. And it's by Intuit, who also does like, what is it called? The little tax app, TurboTax, and all that stuff. So QuickBooks, all that stuff, right? So yeah, you just sign in, you log in. I never had any like theft or thievery or anything with it. And you just put, I believe, your debit card. It's either your debit card or your bank information, I'm not sure. And then it'll actually tell you like you spent $400 this month on fast food. You spent $300 on clothing. Like it can tell when the charge comes through what it is, and if they have it wrong, you can kind of go in and fix it and fix the pie chart. But it's a really good way to see what you're spending and how you're spending it. But yeah, comment down below and let me know, guys, would you guys be interested in, one, a video on what I spend in a week? Two, would you guys be interested in a video, what did I say, about advice as far as buying a home, saving up for a home, all that kind of stuff. Oh, you know, and of course more detailed information regarding grants and programs and how they work. What else? Do you guys want to see an updated dating tips video too? Just let me know. But this was fun. I actually expected y'all to get way deep off in my business, way more than what y'all did. So I don't know what. I don't know. So if y'all want me to do another one of these, let me know. Yeah, just comment all that good stuff down below for your girl. And say a prayer that this luggage turns up so that I can get my life back together. But all right, guys, that is all I have for you today. This has been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look. It don't match, but I never really match my lips to my face. I feel like when my lashes are big, it doesn't really show what I did with my eyes anyway. So I lead with my lips. My lips are one of my favorite features, so I tend to never really have a plain lippy. So I will link down below everything that I use, child, because I had to scrimp and scrump, okay? Because all my good stuff was in my luggage, child. I will never do that again. They got my Fenty tint. They got my, oh, I'm just happy that I did not take this precisely my brow, because child, we gonna basically at this point I'm gonna have to do like a huge Sephora haul or something, because your girl's lacking in almost everything. Like I said, it is time to let these little passion twists go, but I'm gonna film this video so that I can get back on track now that I have my bathroom together. I can you know, I can upload all of my videos. I've been kind of mainly doing the vlogs because it was easier, but here we go. Hey, hey, here we go. Hey, hey, here we go. Alright guys, peace and I'm out.
That's how we fall out. That's how we fall out. That's how we fall out. That's how we fall out. That's how we fall out.